has come up to its most important moment in its history. And I know it sounds crazy, but when it comes to a price analysis, XRP where it's at right now, being over the 2018 resistance and finally being on top of it and looking to be on a more secure path here as we're looking to complete a cup and handle here up to about 63 cents and some change that we will look at in this very live. And we'll see if XRP is finally on that momentous moment where we not only surpass the 63 cents, confirm that we have in fact retaken this 6.5-year resistance that started when we hit all-time highs in January of 2018. The support started in March of 2020, which we'll go over all of this. So if you're new, I'll make sure to give you a backstory. If you're an older viewer, you're already going to know this, but I'm going to reaffirm what you know or what you are trying to learn. And we're going to take a look at this in a very, very deep fashion. Very, very deep fashion. So please make sure to hit that like button if you are watching this live so that YouTube will recommend it. I am on at a very weird time right now. I just did my morning update just a couple hours ago, which had already had over 2,000 views, which was good to see. A lot of likes in the early going, and YouTube recommended it. So make sure to hit that like button during this live so YouTube recommends this, and we can get a big viewing audience, and we can reach an audience that we never even thought possible. So I'm going to check to see who's in here in just a minute. I want to let everything settle, so please make sure to hit that like button. I'll catch you on the other side of the intro. Good morning, 11:16 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Monday, July 22nd, 2024. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. Trading with J-Ride, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 2 years with the XRP 589 Moon Badge. Love, love, love seeing that. I see a few people in the house already. Hopefully I might have missed some. UK Phil, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 6 months with the XRP Predictor. Marvin, welcome in. Lee, Mosey here, and CJ2 Pilot, thank you both for being in Tom's Army, along with UK Phil for over 6 months with the XRP Predictor. Vincent Ortega, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for 3+ months with the XRP Meteor. Donate your hair once you cut it. I just might, depending on how long I grow it. John Smith, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over, I believe it's at over 2 years. John, with the XRP 589, or was the I Told You So Badge or the 589 Moon Badge? Don't know, but at least I know you've been for well over a year. So XRP, we are in a very, very, very big moment here. It's a very big moment. I'm not so sure if it's ready to make that push just yet to 63.3 cents. And let me explain myself. Not saying that the entire pattern would fall down, but I think that we do have a set back test here, and it could come down as low as 50. I'll show everybody as low as 59.8 cents. And this is not to scare anybody. This is so that you can make the appropriate plans as far as what you're doing right now, whether you're in a leverage trade or whether you're looking to maybe open something up. My trade with XLM, I closed out at 10,577, and I wish I could have did it in the group. It was about 18%, so I was happy about that, but I couldn't do it in the copy trading group because I always forget, but every time I go to do it on HOTCOIN, they don't have XLM for whatever reason on the futures trading. So that kind of sucked, but nonetheless, right now with XRP, we are over the 2018 resistance. The reason why this is so important to me right now is because not only did we break it and come back through and consolidate it and held, we came in at a nice consolidation back down to just under 54 cents, created this inverse head and shoulders, which I think we've been all over the last few days, but if you're new, you wouldn't know. But we have this inverse head and shoulders that, was anybody here during the live yesterday out of curiosity? During the live last night, I drew this out and said it's not an inverse head and shoulders yet, but we're speculating that's what it would be. And the buy-in opportunity on a futures trade would be 58.7 cents. Now, unfortunately, this happened at 2 a.m. and I was passed out. If I would have been awake, I would have opened that futures contract. And it hit exactly where we were predicting it yesterday. So that's unfortunate that we weren't able to capitalize, or I wasn't able to capitalize on a futures trade with the audience, because it did exactly what we expected yesterday in the live. But, you know, at least we were able to, or you were able to, if you've seen it, we're able to take out a spot position or your own trade, because I thought it was a very big moment there, and we did hold it. It created that inverse head and shoulders. So now, seeing that we have not been able to hold on backtest yet, I think it's quite unlikely that we're not going to come back down here and test at 59.77. So if you're not in XRP, or if you're looking for a potential futures contract that could light your shorts on fire, 59.7 cents on a backtest and hold could be an opportunity for spot traders and leverage traders alike to capitalize. Volume's coming in a little bit stronger. I do think, though, this is a rather early breakout attempt. So I think, if it's me being honest, there's a reason why I sold my futures contract with XLM. I thought it was too early to make the grand push, because now we have to backtest these numbers. And that's just where I stand right now. So I'm not afraid to say I think we're coming down to 59.7 cents, and I think this is a bearish W. The short-term one, I just do. I look for bullish Gartleys. If they're not Gartleys and they're not bullish, I think they're bearish. And I think this sets up the exact retest at 59.7 cents. And that is where I'll be looking to expand into XRP with my swing bag. So the swing bag was in effect from 57.06, went up, blah, blah, blah. And now the swing bag at 59.7 would be reactivated, let's just say. So you can do the math and read in between the lines. So once we came up here and I seen the bearish W, and it did what it needed, not the bearish W, but I don't think it's going to hold this. So I think 59.7, let's put it in short terms. 59.7 cents would be a great area to either have a swing bag or start something if it holds. Because if it holds 59.7, in my opinion, and I am not a financial advisor, so there is 63 people here right now, which is impressive for being 11:21 in the morning. I am not a financial advisor, but what I see setting up, and we've been predicting it from the push up, 63 cents is where it looks like it wants to hit. That would complete the cup. And the importance of this is, right, Tanya? I was going to just do an update again. And I didn't want to do one so close to my morning update, especially the fact it got over 2,000 views, which is nice to see after a couple hours. But I was going to do an update, and then I said, you know, I'm going to get more value out of this to do it live, because then if anybody has questions, or I will be able to talk longer than a 5 to 10 minute expandable update. And I didn't want to really interrupt the update from this morning. So it uploads in a different category as well. But if we hold this back test, Tanya, holy smokes. And welcome in, love, and thank you for being in Tom's Army for over 1 year with the I Told You So badge. The Gatman, good morning, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 2 years with the XRP 589 Moon badge. Greatly appreciate that, my good friend. Greatly appreciate that. And may I welcome in the new members and the old members that have found their way back to the community. I love to say this. Both groups of people that are here right now are so very important. The older members that are back here have created the identity you see in front of you. They've created the environment of positivity over negativity. They allow us to do the love over hate and be helpful, not hurtful. We are winners here, not victims. And being such, we not only have to have the information from the news and charts alike, but we also have to lend a helping hand. We must stay humble in these times of uncertainty, but also in these times of gratitude when we're making a little bit of dollars. It's the most honorable time to stay humble and helpful. And to the new members, it is up to you to continue the identity that we've created in front of you, but also expand our views and help us see things we never thought possible. So to both groups, I greatly appreciate you equally. And as always, and this just started in the last week, as always, if you are in here in real time during the lives, as you notice, there are no ads during the lives anymore if you are here in real time. And that is purely for the sponsorship from Tom's Army. The members of Tom's Army sponsor these lives now by being part of Tom's Army. And anybody who's ever sent a YouTube super chat or will in the future, you are the reason why there are no ads during this live. And I promptly put them back on when the live ends, and then it's in the rerun. Then you'll have to watch live ads. So make sure to thank the members of Tom's Army as well, because they're paying a set of gratitude here so that you don't have to watch ads during these lives. Unless it's not in real time. If I'm not in real time, you are watching an ad during the live. So that's just the way it goes. So there's incentive for you to come into this live in real time. So my expectation, if XRP can hold, now I have to show you this because somebody said they're new to the audience. So I can't, you're going to see so many different charts. Your head is going to pop off. But last night we speculated, if you just want to see a little bit deeper, we speculated that we were creating some kind of correction like this. And we said if we were in an ABC, that the A wave to B would have been from down here at about 38 all the way up here to about 63.3. The B wave correction came down to 53.6. We anticipate if we're going to a C, if this would be a C wave up now, 70.4 cents would be the corrective, or the actual push out of this correction now. That's the speculation. Now, if it doesn't hold, it invalidates that thesis. But now, yes, ad-free sponsored by members of Tom's Army. I love that. That rolls a lot better. So appreciate this ad-free viewing experience thanks to Tom's Army. That's awesome. I love that. Sponsored by Tom's Army. Anyhow, if this holds, we would get up there. Now, how do we get to where we're at? Well, I'm glad you asked, the new members. I'm glad you asked, because you're going to need to know exactly where we're at. So I do price labels, remove them in real time so that we can see exactly what's going on. So if we go all the way back in our history, January of 2018, we started this downtrending resistance at $3.31. Depending on exchange, this is on Bitstamp. So mind you, on different exchanges, different prices. And we hit it a second time, this downtrending resistance, right around 21. We were already on the air together. We had made almost 400% on our trade with XRP. And then we sold out at $1.66 when it failed to come back up. And then I'll show you where we rebought back in as well. So XRP then, after the resistance in 2018, we hit the support. For the first time, it took us 27 months to hit the floor. We went from 331 down to 10.8 cents. Massive consolidation. Then we came up to the resistance in April of 2021, hitting that downtrending resistance for a second time at $1.98. Now, yes, we'll look at XRP Healthcare, my friend. The Gatman, we will. I'm heavily invested in it with over 55,000 tokens that are currently being staked. Then we hit the support structure here after resistance down here right around January of 23, December of 22. Then we ended up hitting right around here in March of 23, around 33. It came down to 32, 33 area. Anyhow, we bought it somewhere around that stretch again. Came up, we hit resistance again at 74 cents in March of 24. Then in July of 24, June, actually it was about end of June 24, we hit the support again at about 40.2 cents. We came through to about 38 cents. And now we're hitting this resistance again. And right now we're trying to backtest at 59.7 cents. And if we can hold this, we would start the beginning of a historical move. And I'm just being real. And now this would confirm this would signal a historic move. The only way to confirm this, as we found out the hard way the first time, is to break over this multi-year pattern formation and get over 63 cents. To get over 63 cents, you get on top of that and your technical target 70.96 cents. Remember the ABC how I just showed and the other chart as well, that gets us up to about 70.5 cents. So a little bit of consistency here when we started measuring things out yesterday. And then if you're not familiar with this chart, this is the end-all be-all chart. You have the rising channel that we fell out of, and right now that 60.3 cents to hold 60.3 is important because that pushes you back over the rising channel. So we have to hold this. We have to hold it. Then you get over 65.4 cents and you're off to the races. That's the ultimate downtrending resistance, not just in the falling channel that was helped to be validated after we broke the rising channel and lost about 30%, which it was needed. We needed a corrective phase. But it's also the cup and handle resistance. That opens up the door. If you get over 65.4, you technically open the door to 86 cents, but you have a technical target of 70.5 cents, roughly, based on the first move out of a very long consolidation going back to 2022. So these are the resistance we have to pay attention to, but we are in a very advantageous moment. So I hope that helped catch everybody up on the charting side of things, you know, as far as what the different charts are. But right now, to me, the most important thing is this chart, because this is the 6.5-year downtrending resistance. Let me repeat, we broke out of a resistance that's held since 2018 right now. And as of right now, we have not broken down. We have not broken down. Every other time we've broken down, the last time was probably the longest stretch we took over. Most times we barely peek our head over. The fact we've done this a second time on the current rotation, it's the first time we've done it in 6.5 years. So I'm rather excited this morning. And I know this is the biggest moment in the history of XRP. From a price perspective, this is the biggest moment we have ever seen. XRP gets close and Bitcoin heads down. That is correct. It happens very often, but remember, on this recent rotation, has XRP not flipped Bitcoin as far as the way it's rotating? And when I first came on, I said I was convinced, when it was at 61.5 at the start of this live, that it was not a proper W on that short term, and it needed to come down to 60.3 cents. Am I surprised Bitcoin's doing what? No, I'm not. XRP's proven that it's on opposite ends right now of Bitcoin. Bitcoin goes up, XRP goes down. Bitcoin goes down, XRP goes up. That means XRP's grabbing liquidity on down days from Bitcoin. This is what you want. Oh my, the XRP Bitcoin pairing, we have made a lot of money on Whales, Josie Whales, and I'm glad you were part of it. I've made several $1,000s off the XRP Bitcoin pairing in the last couple months. And that's not the flex, that's just to say that we had a tremendous viewpoint here, and we nailed this to the wall. I mean, look at that. You can't make that up. I talked about the inverse head and shoulders, and I gave the unbelievable amount of dedication to this. And at one point, I had about $5,000 into the XRP Bitcoin pairing, and I was very transparent about my sale when it hit 948. I was going to sell it. I sold it at 944 because that was the technical move was technically a little bit higher, as we know. The technical move was 957. I sold at 944. But now if it gets back on top of 957, it's not that I sold everything. I just, once the XRP Bitcoin pairing went back in this kind of a favor, I have more into XRP right now just for the fact it can be sold either way, but I don't have it as much into both pairings right now because I don't know the volatility with Bitcoin. So basically, I've been finding strategic spots now with that made money to reinvest into XRP for different swing trades. So, and I'm very transparent. Even on the start of this, I talked about how at 61 or about, what was it, like 61.8, I am trying to find different ways to where 59.7 to me is where it needs the back test. And the XRP Bitcoin pairing is showing us XRP is not done by a long shot. If we get on top of 957, I'm telling you right now, there is not much in our way to fucking 1404. And that very well could be an XRP move to 70 cents and a Bitcoin very slow crawl up or move down. So be prepared. Be prepared. We are in no man's land because we've already created the technical move out of here. And for anybody who was part of this, and I hope so much that you were a part of this, we'll just call it at the 700 sat level, the move. But we bought as low as 680, 670 on the move down. But like where I sold, and I was more than happy, 34.4%. And I'm not going to tell you the math, but I had $5,000 in that pairing, as all of you know. So 34% of $5,000 in about a month period. I mean, everybody always says that XRP you can't get rich in. I'm living proof that that is absolutely unequivocally not the case. Not the case. Phil Murphy, thank you for the $9.99 donation. Says all the best from the UK. I appreciate that, mate. I appreciate that so much. And I don't think we're done just yet, folks. I think there's a long, long, long thing to go. He says, love the effort you put into these videos. I appreciate that, Phil. I put all the passion I have into it because I firmly believe in what I'm doing. And I'm firmly invested, and I try to show every single way. So Tom wins a key point to sell the XRP Bitcoin pairing. So Tom, a key point to sell. I mean, your first area to sell if you wanted to consolidate on the XRP Bitcoin pairing was at that 950 whatever level. Then if you're looking to buy it back, if you see it hold that 950 for a break up, if you're not in it, that would be a key signal. Or if, how'd it go? Okay. Or on a back test, there is a chance. I mean, I don't know if it's got a head and shoulders building here or not, because I don't want to believe it does. But on a back test, you know, appropriately, and it did come down here. Let's say it swings up. If it doesn't break through the appropriate area, it's come back down here already. So if you sold out at 944, you had a chance at 864. Or even back down here, if it hit the technical target, came down, bounced up, got rejected a second time, you always buy the support. So right now the support structure is right here. So as close to the 872 sat level, the better. It's not terribly far off from it, but the closer to there, the better. Now with XRP, I see the questions. With XRP, the 4 hourly absolutely looks indecisive. But as I stated to start this, well, actually, some of you might not have been here. The reason that I was trying to state in the beginning of this, I believe a correction down to 59.77 has to happen. It has to happen. I believe it has to happen. Yep, I'm going to copy trade XRP Future Million and reinvest into more crypto. Well, I mean, just remember, it's awfully volatile, so past performance doesn't necessarily dictate future results. Just because we're up near 60% right now in the copy trading, we could go through a downstretch. We don't know. So it's you know, it's the cumulative thing, and I'm not a financial advisor, so always expect losses no matter what. But I trade in a fashion to where I don't expect to have long-term losses accrued. But right now we built a cushion of, you know, if we put in $100 into the copy trade, you'd be up to just under 160 right now. About 159.90 something, I believe it is. But anyhow, this is what I'm expecting. I think this is a bearish candle. I thought this was a bearish consolidation up here. I know that there is a W reversal that some would have been buying back in, thinking it's going to have the explosion. Not a bullish Gartley. There's one thing I can teach you here. Look in the 5 minute. One easy way to decipher whether or not this is bullish or bearish, and it doesn't always hold. But if you're going to get continuation, you want to see that right side pull down. And the reason for that is this bears sold. The bulls started taking over. The bears retook control, pulled it down farther, and had a lower swing low. So now we made a lower low on this push. And then the bull said, too bad, pull it back up. And then hypothetically, you break the region, and then you back test and break out, and that's the bulls taking control. What we see right now is very classic, rejected here right when it finished this pullback, and now it's going to pull down to actual support. This is a way for added liquidity if it does break it. Now, there's no guarantee that that means it's going to break it down, but when I look at technical analysis, I'm very wary to buy on a W that looks like that. I want to see the strength of a Gartley. I don't want to see the strength of a weak hand, and that's what I'm seeing right now. And, you know, it's speculative because some would say, well, that side's down to 605. Well, I would just simply say this is 6051. This side's 60539. So it is close, but in my opinion, I don't think that that gets the job done. Now, I could be wrong. That W could somehow bring in some firepower, but I think a retest at 59.7 cents is what needs to happen. That's the reason I came onto this live. I think that retest has to happen, and it's been going on for 6.5 years, since 2018. There's no reason to believe it's just going to break over without a back test now. After just a couple days ago, breaking up so far, and then coming all the way down to 54 cents, now coming back over, I think it's appropriate to have a back test. I really do. I'm at 39% power. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. That should be good enough. That should be good enough. For 25 minutes into this, if this goes appropriate, I would like to do an hour here. And this doesn't mean I'm not going to do my live tonight. It means there's a chance that if things were busy tonight, I wouldn't have to do the live because of the live right now. But I fully anticipate to do a second live tonight. So I don't believe that this is going to replace the live tonight, but I just believe that this is a very critical level for XRP. Very critical level. Well, if I didn't have the kids and stuff, I would definitely be doing lives for a lot longer than what I do. But having, there's a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes, so. But I definitely anticipate to be here until around noon at some point, if not a little bit longer. So we're going to have to sit here and see exactly how this consolidates. Another thing while I have everybody's attention, we'll get into XRP Healthcare real quick too, because somebody asked. XRP Healthcare generally will have good days if XRP looks explosive. Right now, we're trying to build with XRP Healthcare. We did have a momentary push up, but now, just like with every other rotation, let's get rid of this because I don't believe that we need that. Just like with every other pattern, we came all the way back down and back tested the breakout. Now we hit the resistance area again. Now we have to find some kind of support structure. So to me, if I'm looking at a support structure here for XRP Healthcare, you could come all the way back here and do something like this, but I'm not so sure that fits what we're trying to do in the short term. And what I mean by that is that's great, but I actually think we have a lower support form than what that would have given us, and then we could get into some problems. I think to look at this appropriate, it needs to be something like this. We have those two wicks down. We came through resistance even with the wick high. Now we need to prove that we can hold this 2.94 cents on XRP Healthcare. If we hold that, then we should show a strong third tap of support. And then it should just be a matter of time before we break out a 324. Now, the important thing to understand about this is, eventually, we did hold that back test. And eventually, this is going to be a massive, massive. And I think now that we have the history, we can actually say that that's where we hit the third time. So now we don't have to guess. I love not guessing. So I mean, this is basically your, let's just say your consolidatory phase, and you can see your range right now. The range right now, and you never want to buy resistance. So if you're not in yet, you're going to be looking for support. Unless you break resistance and hold at 3.3, then obviously that's a buying signal. But as of right now, your range is anywhere between 336 and all the way down to 2009. So if you ask yourself, what would be the better buy if this doesn't break out? Are you looking for 1986, I guess we could say? Or would you rather buy in at around 3337? It's a big difference. But if it breaks out and this is some kind of inverse head and shoulders, which I can certainly see in front of me, I'm not going to act like it's not there. You got to make an educated and informed decision, like I always say. I mean, if that is an inverse head and shoulders and it pops this resistance, we've got a long way up. Let's just put it that way. We've got a long way up. I'm not saying it's going to go all the way to 6 cents in a one fair hop, jump, and a skip. But I mean, in totality, let's get a real measurement here. I would like to not, well, I guess we could use resistance support. I mean, it actually hit it perfectly and filled it out the entire way. So if we're looking at the entirety of this, let's just say it breaks bullish somewhere around there. The first the tactical move is 7.5 cents. That's just on, if we get on top of that, then we can start playing out a much bigger pattern. But 7.5, you're looking at better than 100% appreciation if we can get on top of this. Now, there are micro resistances in between that we could get stopped at as stop measures, but there's a big opportunity that's starting to unfold. Remember, if XRP goes parabolic, what do you think is going to happen to XRP Healthcare or anything in its ecosystem? Anything on the ledger is going to explode. Good to see B2 Gold defying gold right now. Gold's down 15 bucks an ounce right now. Looks like it's coming right down to our support. We talked about this a long time at 2,376. And it's hard to believe you wouldn't come back and back test that with a volatile breakout right here. That's a long-term pattern that's formed. And then if we break that 2,200 and something. But right now, gold looks like it's getting ready to back test in a good way. The commodity being up 1.7% tells you that there could be an explosive move on gold coming. We'll see. We will see with B2 Gold. We came all the way back down to 289 from 317. On Friday, I bought in at 293 on the close. right before the close, 1 minute before the close. And now I see it's at 298, but there's no guarantee this keeps moving. But I thought it was a good buy there, at least at the end of the week. But we'll see. If gold holds that support, we've got B2 Gold with earnings on July, and then I'll get back into XRP. But earnings comes July 31st, and that's for the period of June 24th. Their estimate is 0.071 for earnings, and their revenue estimate is 471.576. And in the not so recent past, B2 Gold in their last earnings call back last year in December, they did not beat earnings, but this year, just to see the difference, look at the differential from last year to this year. B2 Gold beat earnings this year by 18.1%, beat revenue by 5.7%. So I'm looking for an explosive revenue and earnings call this end of July. Very excited about that. So we'll see how this plays out. Don't get too excited yet. XRP still making that pull down here to 59.7 cents, I believe. SEC has lowered their settlement demand. Ooh, if that's the case, that would be interesting. Let me type in SEC lowers settlement demand. Let me take a look at my HOTCOIN app real quick. I'll tell you if I'm having an issue. I was not before the live. No, my app went right on. I can trade as normal. Everything's fine on my app. Maybe you have to, I would reset it. If not, delete it, reinstall it, but I have not had an issue right now. Yeah, this is a live. This is a live. I know I already did an update this morning, but I did a live right now. I was going to just come out and do an update because of the moment we're in. The moment we're in right now. I don't know. I haven't seen anything on the Ripple versus SEC. Does anybody have a source? Ripple versus SEC settlement to trigger XRP price rally. What to expect. Ripple versus SEC lawsuit update on July 27th. Or July 22nd. Saw the article on Crypto Potato. If you could copy that and put it in the chat, I would greatly... Well, no, I guess you don't have to... Nah, don't go through all that work. I don't want you to have to go through all that work. So... Speculate. Let's read what Crypto Potato said this morning. So, Ripple versus SEC lawsuit update as of July 22nd. Speculation about a Ripple SEC settlement has risen due to an agency closed meeting on July 25th. Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse and lawyers suggest settlement could happen soon, with the regulator lowering its fine demand, indicating potential progress. So, I mean, this is suggesting the regulator. So let's see what this says. So the legal spat between Ripple and the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, continues with numerous industry participants trying to guess its eventual outcome. One factor indicating that a resolution might be forthcoming is the regulator's closed meeting scheduled for July 25th. Sorry, I am not leaving, but I did bring out some relaxation, but I have to roll it in real time. So... I'm going to be doing that while I'm reading. I can multitask. One factor indicating that a resolution might be forthcoming is the regulator's closed-door meeting on July 25th. Some of the matters to be discussed during the gathering are institution and settlement of administrative proceedings. So that's what's being discussed in theory in this meeting. So institution and settlement of administrative proceedings. It was canceled last week, but I have been updating very every single day, and I even shared the official documents. It was rescheduled for Thursday of this week. So July 25th at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time approximately, the closed door meeting was rescheduled. That's why I thought it was a great opportunity to buy back into XRP over the weekend before it ever even pushed 60 cents. something that we've been talking about. Some ex-users speculated that the lawsuit against Ripple will also be brought up as a subject. Others, though, reminded that the SEC conducts such meetings quite regularly, and so far it has not discussed settlement with the company. An official end of the legal battle could involve certain financial aspects. The commission initially sought a whopping $2 billion fine, while the company insisted on a sum no larger than $10 million. Not long ago, the SEC no, see, this is not true. Okay, let me clarify, everybody. That is unequivocally not true. They did not offer a $102.6 million in lieu of the $2 billion settlement. They simply said if they used Ripple's logic, it would be $102.6 million fine, not counting disgorgement. So that's not even an official number. So be very careful when you start reading this. That is absolutely unequivocally clickbait right there. I'm sorry, but that is so false. And I don't mind reading the articles because I like to read them, but I will absolutely say when I think something is bullshit. And just because that they misrepresented that, I read the official documents to everybody in my audience. And yeah, you'll have to go back in the history now. But we know exactly what it said. The SEC was simply trying to do a representation to compare to what Ripple was saying. But it had nothing to do with disgorgement. So be very careful with that number. I would love to see something new happen. But like Brad Garlinghouse even said last week that it's going to come from the judge. And I'm just going to read this. Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse also touched upon the matter, saying the process may be concluded very soon. He refused to clarify whether the parties are in a settlement talks as of the moment, saying there is one final piece before the case gets wrapped up. The ruling, and listen, this is what he said verbatim. The ruling has been clear from the judge. There is one final piece about these investment contracts sold to institutions. We expect a resolution very soon, but we can't predict exactly when the judge will rule there. So he's not talking about a settlement. And he was asked point blank. I played the video for you guys before. He was asked point blank if he thought a settlement was going to happen. And he refused to answer the settlement side, but he said he expects the judge to rule very soon. So he's expecting some kind of offer to be made by the judge, and then they'll go from there whether or not they agree to the terms. So it's unequivocally false that this meeting that's taking place on Thursday is because of some kind of sought-after settlement that's on the table. Now, if it comes up, it comes up, but they have these meetings all the time, so we'll see what happens. Ooh, we missed it by reading a little bit of a pull down here. Oh, I should have never turned my head. See? I should have paid closer attention. I don't think it came exactly down all the way, but that was a... See, now it made a better W here, it looks like. The short-term W looks a little bit better. 60.5 cents. It held over here still. This is interesting. Let's see if it pushes up from here. That'd be unfortunate if it does, because we would have never got our chance. We missed that 5-minute reversal by reading that. Damn it. That actually does show a little reversal there. We'll see if this holds. Ooh, nice 15 reversal as well. We may not come all the way to 597. We may not come all the way to 597. We'll see, though. We have a support floor right now that's been put in over the last about an hour and a half if this holds. I was hoping to get a leverage trade there with the community in our HOTCOIN group. So we've got a support down here at 60.5 cents right now. If it breaks 60.5, we will more than likely be at 59.7. If it bounces off of 60.5, we could have a move again, though. We'll see. We'll see. We created a short-term bullish Gartley here in the very short time frame. That could very easily turn into an M, but as of right now, we'll see if it has any kind of tenacity here. Let's see. How long have we been on now? 40 minutes? We've covered a lot in the first 40 minutes. Ethereum, remember the ETF comes out for Ethereum on... Is that tomorrow? Does the Ethereum come out? Does the ETF for Ethereum come out tomorrow? I think so. I've been waiting all day to try to find a buy. Oh my God, even when we were reading that and before I came on, it came down to 3,432. So one could speculate that you could buy in. That is a W reversal in the short time. And it is a Gartley reversal in the very short term. One could argue that you could buy in and put a stop loss under 3,434. It's about 0.7%. On a 10x trade, that's about a 7% risk. But what I'm looking at is the possibility of a bigger reversal here. So wherever it's going to be bought, you're going to have to look at it for the longer stretch. Let's just say it comes through. Could that be something there? Possibly that could be the start of a W. Right here, boom. Came down the second layer and now back out possibly. We won't know unless it breaks that, but officially until it breaks right around there. Ethereum's tough. I really want to get on Ethereum, but I also knew today that we would have a dump down because a lot of people were buying in anticipating a rally today initially. But unfortunately, as we know with the XRP ETF, it didn't happen right away. Right before we had a dump down the day before, but then as it led into, there was a rug pull, but then a massive break up for Bitcoin. I expect the same thing to happen with Ethereum, but we are seeing, in a sense, the fortuitous rug being pulled the last few days, ever since the announcement. It's down better than 2% today, right before the Ethereum, or right before the ETF. But remember, in the short term, when everybody started to get excited now, all of a sudden we're down. That's just in the short term here, a couple percent. But we had a move earlier that got us up a little bit higher, and honestly, with all the news we've had, once we got the news, everybody was excited that this was the potential, and it's at a pretty healthy correction. It even created a nice recovery. Even to where it's at right now, it's still down 13%, but we had already had a pull down of about 30%. That's a significant reversal. Now it looks like it's putting in the inverse head and shoulders. So remember with XRP yesterday when I said my targeted buy zone would be X amount, and it doesn't show the inverse head and shoulders yet, but we're speculating that's what's going to happen. Same thing with Ethereum now. Inverse left shoulder, inverse head. The speculation is you'd come down to somewhere around here. So where would the targeted buy for the community be, like we said yesterday for XRP? The targeted buy for Ethereum now, and now that we have this measured out, let's do this more appropriately. Was anybody here last night in the live when we did this for XRP? Inverse head, inverse right arm. So the technical buy for Ethereum, and yeah, you've got to have some tenacity, and you've got to have a little bit of forward outlook, because I'm certainly not going to buy it in the structure it's in. I'm going to buy it on a dip down if it gives me the chance. 3,231. 3,231 is that inverse right arm if it creates this inverse head and shoulders. We've got the V-shaped recovery. Now all we need is this breakdown. Yeah, and the rug pull will be in place if this happens. And it's already started. Think about it. We started up here, and everybody's buying in, and it would give you about a 9% tug down here. 9% tug down the day before. I think this is what's going to happen. I think if you're looking for Ethereum, look around 3,231 if it does create this inverse head and shoulders. Beautiful descending consolidation, and it looks like we're creating that pattern. Remember just yesterday with XRP, we did the exact same thing with XRP. We did it in real time during the live, and you can watch it back from yesterday, or if you're in here, you already seen it, and we speculated the exact same way before it happened, that XRP needed to come down on that inverse head. Did I delete it from yesterday now? Oh man, I had the inverse head and shoulders on here. I must have deleted it already to make it easier to see. That's okay. We speculated yesterday. Oh, wait a minute. Nope, it's right here. It's in a smaller time frame. This is exactly what we did yesterday. We said it's not an inverse head and shoulders yet, but that should come down, and then the proper buy would be right around 58.7 cents. And it came right into there. You could add a perfect buy, and that's exactly what I'm trying to see with Ethereum. It's slightly different though, because Ethereum's coming on a much weaker pattern. This is the second part for XRP that formed. The first part, Ethereum, looks to be on something like this down here for XRP. So it looks like Ethereum is still on the first stage of this, if you look at it, because it looks like we are just making this through now. Look how big that is. That's a huge inverse head and shoulders if it comes down to 3,231. It would confirm that this is an inverse pattern right here, an inverse head and shoulders. Anybody else see that? Or am I scaring you away because I'm talking about Ethereum? But that's what I'm looking at. And on a swing trade, I don't care what it is. If I can make money, I'm making money. On a long hold bag, I have certain things I like to hold. So that's what I'm seeing with Ethereum. Let's see. We did XRP, we did Bitcoin, we did Ethereum, we did XRP healthcare. We read through our story that we needed to. Casper down 3.36%. Casper is one that I've been trying to build into here over the past short-term history. Started when it started making this W. There's been a lot of consolidation, a lot of advancements to be able to made in the position. I'd like to see this corrective phase start here shortly. Looks like a W starting to set up here in the short term. Need to get over this 21, back over 2.2 cents to start help reversing this. I still expect this to come up to that, at minimum, it's right around the 2.5 cent level. So that's what I'm excited about for that. XDC, yes, indeed. XDC is a great one. It's lagging well behind, but is it? Notice that inverse head and shoulders we already targeted that broke out. And now it's back testing perfectly. It actually back tested the neckline about as well as you could ever hope. It really did at 282. So right now it's on a bull flag. It looks set up to retest this area around 321. XDC at some point is going to get hot, and it's going to find its way up to 4.6 cents area. At some point, it's going to get hot. You want to buy support. Support's at 2.6 cents, and you sell resistance all the way up at 4 cents. Well, what is this right now in real time? 4.74 cents. So we are absolutely overdue for a breakout for XDC, but does that mean it has to come back to 269 first? You never know till you do. So you want to buy as close to 269 and play the breakout all the way to 474, and then maybe way beyond that as well. But we are well overdue with XDC, and it's already came to that support structure, so there is no guarantee you'll ever get it back down that low. But yeah, definitely a reason to be optimistic. XLM at 10.45. It broke below that 10.53 support that we were hoping to have earlier. And now it looks like in the immediate short term, and I'm seeing this with XRP too, seeing the immediate short term, there was a possibility of a little bit of a W reversal, and it's fighting right now. XLM and XRP are both fighting to make this valid. The support structure right now, if you're an XLM, should be around 10.42, 10.427 if you're looking for excuse me, a short-term W reversal that could be in the making. And if you're somebody who plays these kind of patterns, maybe evolving, you could buy it in. But then if you're doing that, you have to have a sell order at right around, if you're doing these leverage trades, right around 10.435. Because if it breaks that, you're not going to want to hold it, because then you very well could find this lower support. But right now, a nice support structure here would be underneath. If I was doing this, 10.427 is where I'd put the support at. And that's in a 5-minute consolidation. 15-minute looks like it's trying to reverse as well. We've held the 200-day. So that's just one way you could go about trading that. Now, it's very volatile, so it could very easily come below that, and you could get stopped out right away. So that's obviously that's how you start to look at these positions. We actually seen something similar here with XRP when it created what we thought could have been a short-term W that formed here in the 5-minute. And that's exactly what happened. It's exactly what happened. It didn't come all the way down. It held the support here, and then it came over here, and instead of coming all the way through, it created a W, and it was a Gartley here, which is why we said it might not come all the way down. And now we have to see how it progresses. But that is a chance for it to break out of this area for XRP. And if you're looking at XLM, if you buy in right here, 10.42. See how big that is. That's not even a big risk here at all. Yeah, you're talking about on a spot trade, on every $1,000, it's $7. So that's what I'd be looking for XLM. And we'll see if it does more than just retest 10.55. But there's definitely a moment that's set up here for XLM. Be very careful. Protect your profits. It's one thing I'll say. Protect your profits at all costs. Or your actual portfolio. So yeah, that's what I'm seeing. Is there anything else anybody has to say? We've been live for about 51 minutes here. So we're going to be closing this out in about the next 10 minutes. It's going good. Basically over. 95 people in here. It's been a good live, I think, Julie. Just watching some of this as it either has the continuation right now in the short term, or if they're yanking our chain in the short term and we're going to come back down to that 59.7 for XRP. Because it's rough. I see an opportunity here for it to backtest 597. Whether or not we get that opportunity or not, who knows? But that is a target that I see. So if it breaks down, that's the expected target. And that's where I would absolutely be looking at an opportunity. Now, right now, we can see we did create this W reversal, so that opportunity may never materialize. So if you're not in XRP, you've got to make educated and informed decisions. On the side of a mountain and boulders somehow have connection. What a day. That's awesome. Meat is the future. You were meant to see this. You were meant to see this. You're absolutely meant to see this. I'm very interested to see how this plays out, though. I am. I'm very interested to see how this plays out. Sorry, I was looking at some math real quick. Because I was trying to tell everybody about XLM. And I just wanted to see what that percentage is. 10 for... Well, now it's going up a little bit. About 0.7%. 10.427 is what I would put. And that is a 6.19% drop if it fails. If it fails. So, and that's the trade I would have taken for our group. I would have probably took something like that on XLM. See if it could ride out of here. As we've already have a nice structure formed. But right now, remember, it could just be a retest up here. Right around 10.55. So if you want this to hold 10.55, and XRP needs to get up and over 63.3 cents roughly for XRP to hold and confirm the signal. We need to confirm the signal that we've already received from XRP. We've got the signal of a push up to 70 cents. We need to confirm that with a breach and hold to 63 cents. So that's what we're looking at here in the immediate short term. Let's pull this over because in real time, since we're moving up right now, let's put this over here so you can see what I'm talking about in real time. 63.1 cents. If you guys are looking to trade XRP or your favorite crypto in the USA or abroad, make sure you look in the video description below. You can copy trade me on HOTCOIN, and they have HBAR, they have Casper, they have the XRP Bitcoin pairing, they have IOTA, IOTX, and a bunch of others. And then you can also copy trade me there. No VPN or KYC needed. Unless you send or receive from a bank account, then you'll have to do KYC, which you'll want to because you don't want anybody stealing your money. Or BITUNIX. They have the lowest spot and leverage trading fees in the USA, basically the same as HOTCOIN, basically within a fraction of a penny or percentile. But they have XRP and many others. Bigger ecosystem on HOTCOIN. I think there's a little more liquidity on BITUNIX in my opinion, but both have a fair amount of liquidity to deal with, so it's a good thing. That's a good problem. You want massive liquidity on the exchanges. And yeah, you can find your way onto there, and don't deal with the high fees on other exchanges. Simply don't. Like Uphold, I like Uphold, but I don't want to get hammered every single time I use them. So but XRP at 61.5 cents is a sight to see. I like seeing this. Very much so. We need to break past this short-term resistance just on the drop, which is right up here at 61.57, and ultimately over the short-term resistance at 61.8. And then once you break that, then we should be coming up with no resistance and no restrictions as of... Once you get past these levels, there's no restriction. Once you're over 61.8, now 63.4 is open up. We open up 63.4. Rather exciting day here in cryptocurrency. Well, if you're a fan of XRP, XLM, XDC, as we are. And I hope your antennas were up and listening to some of these possibilities with some of these futures trades, if that's the side you try to choose. I really wish HOTCOIN had XLM. I wish they did. I've made some money the last few days on XLM copy trading, and unfortunately I can't do it with the group. Today I already had a massive trade. And now I set myself up in another trade with the levels that I described. Just the levels I described, that's it. I try to project into the future. Now with Ethereum, if we get this opportunity, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to likely open that copy trade on Ethereum. I'm just saying, I'm being transparent. If it comes down here to 3,000, and I don't know if it's going to come all the way down there. Let me be honest with you. Do I think it's going to come down there? Only because the Ethereum ETF is coming online, could I see a big tug down there. If it comes down to 3,237, you better believe that if you're copy trading me, you better be prepared to lose a little bit. Because I would be buying the hopes that that is an inverse head and shoulders formed if it comes down there. So I'd be buying that. Anybody who buys now, I think, could get into a little problem with Ethereum, only because it's always the buy the rumor, sell the news. So I think you could have a big dump down here, you know, another 6 to 7%. But really, what do I know? So any comments on today's live? And it was much earlier today, and I still believe I will have a live tonight at 6. But I definitely wanted to put this information out much before 6, because who knows where we'll be at 6 o'clock. Hell, at 6 we could be down there at 59.7, or we could be up at 63.3. So this was only relevant in this fashion to do it now. And I have my little grape. I had a grape seed that I tried to have sprout roots, and I had it in a paper towel for quite some time, and my baby sprouted roots, and now I've got it outside. I'm very happy about this. Look at that. That's a grape from seed. It's a grape from seed, and I got it to grow. I'm very happy. So we'll see what happens. I was very shocked at a seed that I actually sprouted something. And my pumpkin's out front. I'm very happy I have this pumpkin growing out front. And we got 2 female flowers finally. We had about 10 male flowers that started, but we got 2 females. We ripped off the male flower, pollinated it with the female. I don't need to tell you how the human anatomy works, or in the flower world. It's very clear about the sexes when it comes to the actual nature. So the only way to you know, create an actual pumpkin to grow is you got to take the male part and you know, pollinate it with the female part. It doesn't work any other way when it comes to the vegetation. So, you know, I don't know if they're trying to tell us about the different, you know, what's, but nature definitely tells you a lot more than humanity would like you to believe. So I'm very happy with how this live went. I'm very happy. I don't think there's any other questions though. I'm going to be honest. I don't really see any other questions. So with that being said, I'm going to wrap this up. I'm XRP Future Millionaire. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and join the over 22,300 subscribers. And until we meet again, have a blessed afternoon, everybody. It's been